in the discussion of the significance of mitosis and meiosis. So what is the significance of mitosis? So in mitosis, it is important for growth. It is responsible for the increase of the number of cells during an organism's growth. An organism grows from a single zygote to a multicellular organisms. So this mitosis enables the production of additional cells to form tissues, organs, and the entire organism. Also, mitosis is important for tissue repair. So when an organism is injured or damaged, mitosis allows for the replacement of damaged or dead cells with the new healthy cells. So example, when you are cut or your skin is cut, mitosis helps in the regeneration of skin cells to close the wound and to heal itself. While in maintenance, throughout an organism's life, cells die or they become damaged due to various factors. So mitosis ensures that these lost or damaged cells are constantly replaced. Okay? For example, we have continuous renewal of the lining of the digestive tract. Involves mitotic division. We also have asexual reproduction, like in single-celled organism such as bacteria and the amoeba, reproduce through simple mitotic division, producing genetically identical organisms or offspring. And we also have cloning. So in laboratory settings, mitosis can be used to create clones of organisms or specific tissues. Example, when we are cloning parts of the plants through tissue culture, it relies on mitosis to generate identical copies of the plant cells. So what are the plants that we tissue culture? We can tissue culture bananas. Okay? Next is embryonic development. Mitosis is crucial in early embryonic development. It allows for the rapid division and differentiation of cells to form various tissues and organs of the developing embryo. And tissue regeneration, like in salamanders, starfish, lizards, they are capable of regenerating lost body parts. Mitosis plays a vital role in the regeneration process by replacing the missing or damaged tissue. Okay? Next is the significance of meiosis. So meiosis is really important in sexual reproduction and genetic diversity. Meiosis is a specialized form of cell division that reduces the chromosome number by half, resulting in the production of haploid gametes, the sperm cells, and the egg cells, and introducing genetic information. So that is the genetic diversity. During meiosis, homologous chromosomes can exchange genetic material through crossing over. So this shuffles genetic information and create unique combination of alleles, leading to the genetically diverse offspring. Genetic diversity is very important for adaptation and evolution of species. We have maintenance of chromosome number. Meiosis ensures that the chromosome number remain constant from one generation to the next in sexually reproducing organisms. Gametes produced through meiosis are haploid or 26, containing half of the number of the parent cells, which is 46. Tama ba? Okay, 46. So haploid is 23. So, meiosis is the process by which gametes are produced. How about evolution? Okay, it contributes to the potential for species to adapt in changing environments. Variation of offspring. Meiosis results in genetic variation among siblings within the family. Even though each sibling share common genetic traits from their parents, they inherit different combinations of alleles. Matinga ka nga lahi man mignaw, parehar man migmama og papa. Anong gwapa man siya? Nganong gwapo niya ako dili, char lang. Pero gwapo bitaw tanan. We have our own unique beauty and identity. So that is because of meiosis. Okay? Reproductive isolation. Meiosis helps maintain reproductive isolation between different species or population. So, when chromosome number differs significantly, mating between individuals from different groups often result in sterile or non-viable offspring, contributing to the species boundaries. The reason is meiosis. That's why we only breed with our own kind. Selective breeding. In agriculture and animal breeding, meiosis is manipulated to produce offspring with desirable traits. Breeder can select parents with specific genetic characteristics and use meiosis to generate offspring that inherit those traits. So, when we are reproducing or breeding animals, like when you breed rabbits or dogs, so you will really select those breeds with the traits that you like. So the breeders can select parents with the characteristics they like to produce offspring that will inherit magmana ato nga traits. Okay? So those were the importance of meiosis and mitosis. So we will now proceed to the disorders or the errors in mitosis and meiosis if your cell cycle checkpoints are not functioning. So the mitosis and meiosis still occurs even though the cell have errors. So these are the disorders that resulted in those malfunctions or in those errors.
Hello everybody and welcome back to yet another biology video. Today, what we're going to be discussing are genetic disorders, what can cause them, some different types, and how people go ahead and help deal with them. We'll also be going ahead and discussing a little bit of what goes wrong, what can happen when mitosis goes wrong. So we'll be touching on cancer and ways to help out with that as well. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. The first thing we have to discuss are what happens when errors are made during meiosis. If you remember, meiosis is when we go ahead and create sex cells such as the sperm of the egg, or gametes, through the act of going ahead and splitting reproductive cells twice. So the first type we have to talk about are non-disjunction. Non-disjunction are when homologous chromosomes fail to separate during anaphase 1 of meiosis. So occasionally, instead of going ahead and splitting with an even 23 and 23, we can have an error where one might get 24 and the other might get 22. So some may have extra chromosomes, where others may be missing chromosomes. So as you can see from the diagram down here, once they go ahead and separate, instead of going 2 and 2, we had 3 sets of chromosomes move up to the top, and only 1 set of chromosomes move down to the bottom. So as you can see here, the top 2 that are made during at the end of meiosis have 1 extra set of chromosomes, where the ones at the bottom, the last 2, are missing a set. An example of this is Down syndrome, also known as trisomy 21. So trisomy means 3 copies, and in this case, 21 means that we have 3 copies of chromosome 21. So as you can see here, if you look down at chromosome 21, instead of having the traditional 2 copies, we now have 3. The next condition we have to look at is Klinefelter syndrome. So Klinefelter syndrome is recognized with the genotype XXY. So traditionally, we know that XX normally means female, whereas XY normally means male. But here, we have two X's and a Y. Mainly this occurs from non-disjunction in the mother. So the mother, instead of going ahead and passing on one X chromosome, passes on two. These result in unusually tall males that are sterile, or nearly so, they cannot reproduce. And also they have feminine-like traits. For example, sparse facial hair, somewhat enlarged breasts, wider hips than usual. And these can be treated with testosterone injections if the individual decides so. The next condition is known as XYY. These only affect males. This results in males that are a bit taller than average and normally occurs from non-disjunction in the father. So instead of getting one Y chromosome, they get two. So these individuals normally have a traditional development, no notable things to add here. They can be somewhat mentally impaired at times. And this actually once thought meant that if you had the XYY condition, you were a tad bit more predisposed to criminal behavior. So since you had the extra Y chromosome, you had a bit more testosterone than usual, you were prone to getting into fights, trouble, etc. However, that has been discredited. The final condition we're going to look at today is called Turner syndrome. Now, Turner syndrome has the genotype X, or XO, meaning a lack of two X chromosomes. These affect females only, and instead of getting two X's, the individual only gets one. Now, 98% of babies that are XO are miscarried. This results in the ones that do survive in short, infertile females with no functional ovaries and reduced secondary sexual traits. Some other characteristics include a web of skin around the neck, a constriction of the aorta, so it's hard for the heart to go ahead and pump blood, poor breast development, and underdeveloped ovaries. Now, these may be treated with hormones or surgery if the individual elects so. Now, errors in mitosis are a bit different. So we know that the benefits of mitosis include repair, growth, and replacement of damaged cells. However, there can be some dangers, specifically with cancer. By definition, what cancer is when cells continue to reproduce when they're not needed. This can cause tumors and damage the body's organs. And these dangers, these cancer cells, can be caused by mutations or damaged DNA. So namely, this isn't that much of a problem unless these cells start to replicate at a fast enough rate that they're interfering with the jobs of other cells. This is when we can lead to a problem. And when all these cells start to go ahead and reproduce, they often cause lumps. These lumps are what we call tumors. There are two types: benign tumors, which stay at the original site and can be removed with surgery, or the more dangerous variety, which are malignant tumors. These tumors can spread throughout the body, creating more tumors and damaging cells throughout the rest of the body. So like we said, growth, replacement of the blood cells. But on the next couple of slides, we'll talk about the dangers of these tumors and ways that we can go ahead and fight them off. So tumors, as we said, they can be benign. So benign are abnormal cells that remain at the original site as a lump. So as you can see down here at the bottom in the pink represents a tumor. In this case, what we're looking at is a benign tumor. Most don't really cause serious problems, and if caught early enough can go ahead and be removed by surgery. The problem is when tumors go past benign tumors and become malignant. Malignant is when the cells leave the original site and spread throughout the rest of the body, like we have here with example 2 and 3. So no longer are the cells sitting in one specific spot. They're starting to spread throughout the rest of the body. These can be carried by blood systems to other tissues and go ahead causing more tumors to start and damage functions of organs throughout the body. Cancer treatment. So there's a couple of different ways of treating cancer. Specifically, What we use to fight off this are treatments that go ahead and kill rapidly dividing cells. So they do go ahead and attack the cancer cells, but unfortunately they also attack other cells in the body that divide rapidly. For example, cells in our digestive system, immune system, and even our hair. There is chemotherapy, which are poisonous drugs that go ahead and kill off rapidly dividing cells, normally given through a series of injections and so on and so forth. And there's also radiation treatment, where a high energy beam goes ahead and is focused to kill off rapidly dividing cells. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to go ahead and close up shop today for genetic disorders as well as cancer. If you have any questions, please go ahead and talk to your instructor. They'll point you on the right path. And until the next time we meet, take care of yourselves, have a nice day, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.
Okay, and that ends our discussion on the importance of mitosis, importance of meiosis, and the different disorders that results in the errors of these cell division. So I hope you learned something about our discussion, and may God bless us always.